What is Indiana doing to keep serial criminals off the streets and to hold judges and prosecutors accountable for playing catch and release? In North Carolina, they have passed Iryna's law in response to the tragic murder of Iryna Zarutska. Iryna's accused murderer had been criminally arrested 14 times before he allegedly stabbed her to death. The new law tightens pretrial conditions for the release of violent offenders, eliminates cashless bail, establishes a new protocol for ordering mental health evaluations in the criminal justice system, and sets a firmer timeline for appeal in death penalty cases. We also see serial criminals in Indiana. Here are a few arrest records highlighted by Indie Reporter over the last year as they've made the news. Here, we have someone charged with unlawful carrying a handgun after he's arrested 7 months prior for the same thing. And here, Libs of TikTok highlighted an Indiana man arrested for attempted murder after nearly 100 prior arrests. And Indie Reporter says that the vast majority of the cases were either dismissed or had a plea deal. Earlier in the year, someone went on a police chase with an infant in the back seat, and an 8-year-old died from fentanyl poisoning. Some changes require amending Indiana's constitution. Currently, the Constitution only allows those accused of murder or treason to be denied bail, Article 1, Section 17. In Article 7, Section 4, it assigns the authority to discipline judges and lawyers to Indiana's Supreme Court. Section 13 allows the Supreme Court to remove circuit court judges or prosecuting attorneys who have been convicted of corruption or another high crime, though this authority is rarely exercised. Amending Indiana's constitution is a lengthy process because amendments require approval from 2 consecutive sessions of the General Assembly before being put to Indiana voters for final passage. On bail reform, things are already in motion thanks to State Senator Eric Koch, a Republican representing Bedford. His proposal was approved last session with large majorities. He has submitted it again this session. If it is approved, it could make the ballot in time for the November 2026 election. What is his proposal? Well, it adds an exemption to bail requirements for cases where the accused poses a substantial risk to any other person or the community. The state would have to prove, by clear and convincing evidence, that no release conditions will reasonably protect the safety of any other person or the community. This 2023 Indiana Capitol Chronicle story gives important context. In Indiana now, only people accused of murder or treason can't get bail, as long as there's enough proof. All others can pay to get out of pretrial detention, though judges typically set higher bails for people with more severe charges who might not show up for trial or who are otherwise considered safety risks. But if they set bail too high, the Indiana Supreme Court has ruled that could be considered an unconstitutional de facto denial of bail. To solve this, his proposal would let judges deny bail to anyone that they believe, based on strong evidence, poses a substantial risk to the public. But what about holding rogue judges and prosecutors accountable? Earlier this month, State Representative Andrew Ireland, a Republican representing Southeast Marion County, also introduced an amendment. It allows for the impeachment of circuit court judges and prosecuting attorneys by the General Assembly, just like for other state officers. Ireland has already seen pushback from the Association of Indiana Prosecuting Attorneys, according to a recent story in the Indiana Capitol Chronicle. They point to the existing provision in the state constitution. According to Elkhart County Prosecutor Vicki Becker, ethics rules add another layer of accountability. What we've seen recently is that when a prosecutor has done something where they have violated the oath of office, they step down from an ethical perspective rather than having to be forced out by an impeachment. Ireland responded on X, stating that his proposed amendment simply says that state-funded circuit judges and prosecuting attorneys should be held to the same standard as the governor, lieutenant governor, secretary of state, auditor, and treasurer. He also claims that his proposal has the public behind it. Notably, Elon Musk voiced his support. I think that the bail reform proposal is a good step forward, looking to deal with the most dangerous cases. We can pass it and see how things change. The impeachment reform is great politics. It pushes the discussion forward, and it could help us get to sentencing reform. For that reason, I like that Ireland introduced it. But I don't know that it is a very useful tool on its own. The bar for impeachment is pretty high, so it doesn't get used very often. What do you think? Does Koch's bail reform go far enough? Will Ireland's impeachment amendment actually be an effective accountability tool? Or would mandatory minimum sentences address the underlying issue? You can find all of my sources for this video linked in the description below. This has been commentary from Beyond 465. If you thought that this video was helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. If not, thank you for listening. Bye-bye.